All right, so we're diving deep today into trusting Allah. And we're looking at an excerpt from The Beauty of Islam.
Yeah.
And it's all about, like, finding peace in times that are uncertain by trusting Allah. I feel like that's something we can all relate to.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to kind of like unpack how this actually like plays out in our lives.
Yeah.
Using what this text says and the stories it tells.
Yeah, and I think this excerpt really starts strong.
Okay.
It gives us this really powerful verse right away from the Quran.
Oh, yeah.
And whoever relies upon Allah, he is sufficient for him.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's from Surah At-Talaq, right? Verse 3.
You got it.
Yeah. There's just something about like the simplicity of that
Right.
that really resonates,
Yeah.
Like when you can finally just exhale.
Like you've been holding your breath and you can finally just let go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why do you think this verse is like so important to the idea of trusting Allah?
Well, I think it's because it kind of sets the stage for everything else.
Okay.
It's not just about trusting Allah, like in theory.
Right.
It's like a statement about completely relying on him. And it says when we really do that,
Yeah.
when we really rely on Allah, he takes care of us. It's that simple.
Yeah.
He becomes our strength, our guide,
Our protector.
Like he protects us.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
It's not always that easy, is it?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
live with that kind of trust.
Of course not.
I mean, we're human.
Right.
We have doubts. We question things.
Yeah.
We worry.
Totally.
And I like that the text actually acknowledges this.
Yeah.
It asks us straight up, have you ever, questioned why things are happening the way they are?
Yeah.
Or, why aren't my du'as being answered?
Right, exactly. And that's such a crucial point.
Yeah.
Because this whole idea of doubt, we tend to avoid it.
We do.
But this text, it makes it normal.
Yeah.
It tells us that doubting doesn't mean your faith is weak. It's just part of being human. It's what we do with that doubt that really matters.
I see. So it's not about, never having doubts.
Right.
It's about, how do we deal with them?
Yeah, how do we work through them?
In a way that makes our reliance on Allah stronger.
Exactly.
Because I've noticed there are different kinds of doubt.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just like a fleeting feeling.
Yeah.
But other times it's like
Deep down.
this deep struggle
Yeah.
that really shakes you.
Totally. And, recognizing the kind of doubt we're facing can be so helpful in navigating it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes doubt comes from fear,
Right.
or uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling of why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
And then other times it's we just don't understand. We want tangible proof.
Yeah. Proof. And it's in those moments when we're super uncertain
Right.
that the text brings up this amazing story from the Quran.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorites.
The story of Prophet Musa,
Yes.
peace be upon him,
Peace be upon him.
and the children of Israel at the Red Sea.
Oh, man, that's powerful.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through why this story is so important
Sure.
to understanding trust in Allah?
So imagine this. Okay. You're running away from people who are trying to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh's army is right behind you.
Oh, gosh.
You're surrounded by this huge sea.
Yeah.
There's no way to cross it.
Wow.
There's literally no way out.
It sounds terrifying.
Imagine the fear, the despair.
Mm-hmm.
You start to question everything you thought you believed.
Yeah.
But even then, what does Prophet Musa say?
What does he say?
He says, "Indeed, my Lord is with me. He will guide me."
Wow.
Pure trust.
Yeah. And that's from Surah Ash-Shu'ara, right?
Yeah.
Verse 62.
Yeah, exactly.
And those words, they're so powerful,
Right.
especially because of everything that was going on.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yeah, what happened?
Allah splits the sea.
I know.
He makes a path for them to escape.
It's like a reminder that even when we feel like we're trapped,
Yeah.
when it seems like there's absolutely no way out, Allah can create a path that
Yeah.
we didn't even know existed.
It's about holding on to that tiny bit of faith,
Yeah.
even when everything seems to be falling apart.
Okay, but I gotta ask,
Yeah.
does trusting Allah mean we just sit back
Mm.
and wait for miracles to happen?
Well, that's a good question.
Because sometimes that's the message we get, right?
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And the text actually addresses that directly.
Okay.
It says that trusting Allah is not about being passive. It's about doing our best
Mm-hmm.
and accepting that the results are ultimately in Allah's hands.
So it's this balance between action
Yeah.
and surrender.
We strive, We plan, we work towards our goals.
Right.
But we also accept that things might not happen exactly how we want.
Yeah.
That the path might take us in unexpected directions.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, right?
That's the human part.
Because we like to be in control.
Yeah. We like to know what's going to happen.
I want to know how things are going to play out.
Exactly.
And this idea of accepting that some things are just beyond our control. That even when we try our hardest, things might not turn out how we expect.
Right.
That's tough.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is.
But that's the beauty of trusting Allah.
Okay.
It allows us to let go of that need for control, to find peace even when things are uncertain.
Knowing that even when things don't go according to plan, there's a wisdom at play.
Absolutely.
We might not fully understand.
Right now, in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about relying on Allah.
Right.
We've talked about how doubt is part of the process. And we've looked at this powerful example of trust through the story of Prophet Musa.
Amazing story.
But I feel like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, we are.
There's so much more to uncover about how this trust actually works.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In our everyday lives.
And the text goes deeper, too.
It does.
Gives us more insights into, like, the nature of trusting Allah. And how it changes the way we see challenges and setbacks.
And even the things that seem to go wrong.
Right, even those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sounds like the perfect place to stop.
It does.
And we'll be back soon.
Looking forward to it.
To explore even more of this amazing material.
Yeah, me too.
In part 2 of our deep dive.
Awesome.
See you then.
See ya. So welcome back.
Yeah.
We're talking about this interesting thing with trusting Allah. How we have to, like, let go of control.
Right.
But still put in our best effort.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where a lot of us get stuck.
It is.
It's easy to talk about trusting Allah in general.
Yeah.
But then when we're faced with something real, like a job interview or health problems or relationship issues, that's when it gets tough.
That's the real test.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the text jumps right into that.
It does.
It asks us, what would your life look like if you fully trusted Allah?
Wow.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
It's like really looking at ourselves and asking ourselves that question.
Right.
If we really trusted Allah without any doubt, how would that change our lives?
Everything.
Yeah.
Our thoughts, our choices, how we react to things.
Yeah.
Everything.
Exactly.
It would be a huge change.
Right. It would be like trading our limited human vision for a divine GPS system.
I love that analogy.
Right. It's like that GPS can see the whole route.
The whole thing.
Even when we're stuck in traffic or hit a detour.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the text talks about how important it is
to
surrender to Allah's wisdom, even when we don't understand what's happening. Because, let's be honest, life isn't always neat and predictable.
Life is messy.
It is.
It's full of surprises.
Yeah. There are twists and turns, roadblocks, times when we feel completely lost.
And in those times, the text reminds us of this really powerful verse from the Quran.
Okay. Which one?
Perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it's bad for you.
Right.
And Allah knows what you know not.
It's from Surah Al-Baqarah, right?
Oh,
There's 216.
You got it.
That's one that's always challenged me.
Me too.
It makes you realize that we don't always know what's best for us.
We think we do.
Right.
But we don't.
It's so humbling to think that we might be holding on to something that's actually bad for us or resisting something that could be really good.
Or resisting something amazing.
Yeah. And that's where trust comes in, right?
That's it.
It's about believing that Allah sees the bigger picture.
He sees the whole tapestry.
The whole thing.
We can only see a tiny bit.
Right.
He sees it all.
So trusting Allah doesn't mean just blindly accepting everything.
No, not at all.
It means having faith that even the bad stuff, the losses, the setbacks, the detours, they're all part of His plan.
A plan that's way bigger than ours.
Yeah, and that plan is based on Allah's love and mercy and wisdom.
He doesn't want us to suffer.
Right.
He wants what's best for us.
Even if it doesn't feel good in the moment.
Exactly, even if it's painful or confusing.
Yeah, it makes me think about Prophet Yusuf. Peace be upon him.
Peace be upon him.
He went through so much.
He did.
Betrayal, imprisonment, separation from his family.
It's a hard story.
It is, but he never lost faith in